Hey guys, just before the video starts, I want to again apologise for taking so long to do this video. I also want to apologise for my looks, and I really hope you can't see how flat-chested I am. I am very flat-chested, but I'm also accepting of my flat chest. I am very sorry for the extra 2 weeks as well. It's taken me 2 weeks to process the video. I've had to down the quality a little bit, so you'll see that in the next part of the video, but only very slightly. You might not even notice it. This has taken me probably as long as it took me to do the God video, except I've done it all in like 2 weeks. Trying again. Literally thought that Shotcut was broken because it was that bad. The file size was amazingly large and I had to save it onto my SD card. I'm uploading this video through my SD card. I'm gonna have to keep the noise down because my mum is sleeping next door. To the person that keeps emailing me, I don't appreciate it anymore. You lost that trust from me a long while ago when you were quite rude to me about how I do things on my channel. I forgave it and then didn't forgive it. I realised it's stupid if I forgive you if you're just going to do it again and act like what you did was not inappropriate at all. I don't keep messages, I delete them all, so I have no evidence or proof of this. Just know that I don't accept it anymore. I just want you to stop, and if you really are sorry, give me a bit of distance for a while, at least a couple of months, and then come back to me and apologise. Actually admit what you did was a bit wrong. Saying all my things are shitty, I mean, I respect it in a certain extent, but then to a certain extent I don't. If it's done in a derogatory kind of fashion, which to me that was. I post videos on here at least once a month, but I try and aim for a couple of times per week, which barely ever happens, but you usually get one once per week. Once per month at least. Sorry about the couple of months you've had to wait. This time has been absolutely mental. As I said, I've had very bad technological issues and I'm just getting used to living with my boyfriend, as I explain in this video. On this channel it's all edited videos, but I may start to introduce some that aren't edited because the book reading is really getting to me at the point where I don't want to do it anymore. I will probably just read those to you guys with my makeup on. Like I don't do in the other channel, I don't wear makeup, but in this channel I do wear makeup, but I may not edit in all of my videos from the following time forward. Last but not least, subscribe to my OnlyFans if you fancy seeing me different to being on here. Put it that way. That's all I have to say, and I love you guys so much. Stay safe and I hope you enjoy the video. Oh my goodness guys, it has been a long time since I last spoke to you guys. It's been about 2 months, and for us guys that is a long time. I'm really sorry, that's all I can say. A lot has gone on in my life, as you can imagine, especially with this lockdown that's going on in the UK, and it's also going on around the world as well. It has been difficult to sit down and talk since I went to my boyfriend's house and stayed there for a while, a whole month actually, and then came back here. We've been here for about a month now, so it's officially been 2 months since I posted a video. Really, I just wanted to sit down and make something to do with this virus that's going about, because it's all mental out there, and I want to talk about some conspiracy theories as well along with that, to make this an interesting video, not just an apology video, because obviously I am extremely sorry, but I have literally had a lot going on in my life. Before the video starts, I want to say that I am actually doing content on OnlyFans. It is fetish content, so obviously if you're related to me then obviously don't go and get it. That goes without saying. If you want to pay £18 for the first month and then every month after that is £25, then feel free. There's a hell of a lot of content already on there. I post videos on there every Monday. I've been posting to my Instagram. The link to that also will be in the description. I've been keeping my Facebook up to date, and I've been looking at some conspiracy theories myself and getting really into the Mandela effect, because a lot of weird things have been happening to me lately. It also brings me into what I'm going to be talking about today, which is a lot of things, so just sit down and get yourself a drink. It might just be 10 minutes, it might just be half an hour, we don't know. There's within 10 minutes and half an hour time frame for this video. There's also been a lot of people pinpointing what I say on Facebook, just Facebook, nothing else. Like if I post something on Tumblr, nobody really says anything. If I post what I want to do or what I want to say on Facebook, a lot of people argue with me, and I'm sick to death of it, so that brings me into this as well today. As you know, this virus has been very full on. At first it started off and we all thought that it was going to be okay, like it was just like a thing going around. I know that I spoke to 2 ambulance crew members at the start of this pandemic, they said that they didn't think anything was really bad with it. They thought that it was just like a common cold. People were just going over the top about it. The more research I did, the more I realised that isn't the case. In China, many people had died. These people that were dying were only people that were susceptible to it, vulnerable, that were going to die from something genuinely like the cold. So I didn't think too much of it, even though I did know that it was more serious than people were letting on. Now I realise it is completely dead serious, and the only reason that I know it's dead serious now is because not only vulnerable people are dying from it, but somebody that was 17 in Eastbourne, which is near where I live, has died from it, and she had no health problems, no underlying conditions, and she died from it. And that's really close to where I live as well, and many people where I live have been diagnosed with it. Most of them are going by symptoms, but a lot of people do get tested as well if they have underlying health conditions and they are already in hospital. And a lot of people have been getting sick lately, whether it be just due to a cold or sickness or some kind of health issue they have and they're in hospital, and obviously they show and display symptoms. They have to get checked because obviously people in hospital are very vulnerable people. As soon as people started dying that weren't vulnerable, because the way I thought of it is, if you're vulnerable and every day is a risk to you anyway, really you should be taking those precautions anyway, like washing your hands, staying away from people that look poorly or that you've been told are poorly, or especially if there's a virus going around, you should try your best to stay indoors. That goes without saying. Everyone was told to social distance. I was a bit like, well, I feel like people that haven't got a susceptible illness, I do. I have a thyroid illness, so I am more susceptible to dying from it, say, as a normal person, but not very different to a normal person. Like, I'm not like somebody who's got cancer, they're more likely to die from it than me, but I'm still more susceptible to dying from it than, say, a healthy person. I tried to stay in as much as I could, but I was saying to people, I don't feel like you should have to stay in just because of me and all the other people. We should be the ones taking a step back and trying to prevent the spread of this thing. I try not to die from it, basically, because really our human existence is all about building up immunities. We've done that for centuries now. We have to build up immunity to things because in the future, otherwise our children will get it and will die from it. Things like this and every other thing. So I feel like even if I can't build up an immunity to it, it's good that people are trying to build up an immunity to it and get on with their day-to-day life. But as the pandemic became more serious, and we are literally now told in the UK that we cannot leave the house unless we're doing exercise or getting food shop. Police have the authority to literally arrest you if they think that you've done more in the day than you should have. We're not as strict as, say, Spain, where you literally have to have a receipt if you're going out, or you have to have your dog there with you, and they don't even allow exercise. It's literally just go to the shops, come back, and that's it. Or walk your dog, because obviously they have to have walks to poo and wee. Not everybody has a garden. I think it's good that in the UK now they're opening up parks, because a lot of people don't have back gardens. To be fair, a lot of people will not be walking their dogs in such a public area if there's more parks open for people that don't have back gardens, or people that genuinely want to go to a walk in somewhere pleasant instead of constantly just going to Tesco's and Asda and feeling really crappy about their lives. I feel like it does make people want to go out and be a bit more rebellious. People in normal day will be happy to not work and get 80% of their pay, because the government, Boris Johnson, is paying 80% of people's wages, and the benefit system has been upped by like 2 point something billion. That means that people like me on universal credit is getting a slight rise. Universal credit is job seekers, but you're allowed to earn a certain amount on the side of it, which is why I'm doing this fetish thing, which is why I think you should go and check my OnlyFans out if you're not related to me. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and I'm really struggling with money at the moment because prices have whopped up in a lot of places. People feeling like they don't have enough money. The prices have risen, especially on things like toilet roll. Everyone's going crazy over toilet roll. It's been like that for a few months now. Even at the start of the pandemic, there was barely any toilet roll in shops, which was pretty mental, because it's not like you're going to need to wipe your ass every 5 seconds. There was a person that done a video on Facebook, basically a dad that tried to work out how many pieces of sheets of toilet roll a person would need if they were going to use all their toilet roll that they bought, and it was something like 60 sheets per shit per person as well, and that's if you have 3 people in your family as well. People have been buying ridiculous amount of toilet paper because of this thing, and I think it's absolutely crazy. There is a chance of getting diarrhea with this, but it's not a high chance. The most likely thing that you're going to get with it is a cough, not even a snotty nose. It's just literally a cough. Yes, you're supposed to cough into, say, a tissue, but we've been told to cough underneath our armpits. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you've been told to like sneeze and cough into your armpits. Also to wear masks if you're going out, but you don't have to if you're feeling like you're invincible, like most people do feel like they're invincible. And even me, when I'm going out, I feel like I've got quite a good immunity, even though I have this thyroid issue, even though it's an autoimmune disease as well, which really I should have got a letter from the doctor, because there's not been enough research done on thyroid issues. Not many people have died of it with thyroid issues, but autoimmune people are dying from this. But people with autoimmune diseases, which thyroid is basically, thyroid attacks your immune system, something like that. Anyway, having a thyroid issue is quite serious, but I'm not too worried about it because I've coped with everything else in my life. And the fact of the matter is, I never go out when there's something like this anyway. I only go out if I need to go out, and I feel like that's a good way. But I feel like the government, Boris Johnson, should have done something straight away instead of leaving it to string out the way he did. He's done his best now. I mean, he's put out so much money out there. He's clapped for the NHS, you know, he tells people to do the same. Now he's ill with it himself, and he was in intensive care. I'm not too sure how he's doing now, but I haven't seen any more news on it. He caught it himself. It's quite a serious thing to catch if you're somebody old as well. Bear that in mind. I just think that everybody should be washing their hands. I think that everybody should go out with masks if you are susceptible to catching things. I really do think that if you're a vulnerable person in general, you should really be staying in when there is something like a virus going about. And I think that it's a bit unfair that people that aren't ill are being told to stay in, whereas the vulnerable people themselves are going out, because I see so many people that are vulnerable going out, and people like me, I haven't seen my mates in ages now. My boyfriend is currently living with me due to the pandemic, and also we're thinking about what we're going to do about living arrangements. Onto the conspiracy theories about all of this. There's been a lot to do with 5G. I really don't think it is to do with 5G, my personal opinion, but a lot of people are saying that 5G could cause coughing, and the fact that 5G is now going global. To be honest, I think that there's so many electronics, why didn't we cough way back when, like when the Wi-Fi was put in place? I do think that's a bit silly, but when I go outside I do notice that I do come back with a little bit of a cough, and it's not like a constant cough, not enough to make me think, oh, I've got the virus. I can't say the word that it's called because it will get taken down. And now the thing is, the BBC have done this, I found out. I'm not sure why they've done it. I think that all the social medias are in with each other as well. That's my conspiracy theory. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, but honestly I do think that everybody is pretty much in on this. I also think that it was man-made, but I'm not too sure about that, but I do feel like this could have been done to kill off a lot of people, because in the world there are so many people that it's difficult to cater to everybody's needs. And this is a great way to sort of kill off a load of people, which is awful, and I don't agree with it, but that's the way that some people with high authority think. I'm not saying that our government knows about it, because I don't think he does. I think a lot of people don't know about it, but I think that some scientists, a group of scientists, or somebody that have looked at the statistics of things, somebody that wants to save the planet, have thought about this and created the virus themselves. That's just my personal conspiracy theory. I honestly don't think it's caused 5G, but I do share conspiracy theories about this because I feel like it's very important to look at what everyone has to say about this, because a lot of people are worried, a lot of people think they have the answers. Sometimes people just need a listening ear for some people to believe them. I'm sorry I'm a bit shaky in this video. You're on a tripod on my laptop with a new lighting thingy that I bought for YouTube, and also for the fetish content that I produce. I'll be using it in some of the stuff that I use. I'm feeling really disappointed with the world at the moment. People are getting so shitty with people because they have nothing else to do because of this pandemic, and it's getting to the point now where I just think, if you're really concerned about how people feel, why are you treating other people like shit? Why are you judging what other people are saying? Because I think everybody has their own entitlement, freedom of speech to say what they think about things, and just because of this pandemic people are saying, oh, I can say this, I can say that to other people because this thing's going round and I'm really scared about it. But you can't just treat people like shit because there's something bad going on in the world. Say if somebody in your family have died. My uncle, who's basically like a dad to me, died at the start of this year, but I'm not saying, oh, I can treat people like shit because my dad died. That's not the type of person I am, and I don't feel like people should be like that. A lot of people are being shitty, letting it get to their heads, and people are so tetchy. So tetchy. I'm a nice person. I wouldn't randomly judge somebody for something stupid like sexuality or race or anything like that, but if I say something that sounds slightly, very slightly, say something that sounds slightly racist, I'm talking about saying the N-word to my mates as a joke. Right, okay, so this is the only thing, and I weren't going to talk about it in this video, but this is the only thing that has really pissed me off throughout this whole pandemic, okay? I call my mates the N-word as a joke, like, what's up, N? Because black people can say that. I feel like it should be okay for white people to say that word as well, because black people have made it like that word means nothing. And I'm not saying that the word does mean nothing, because obviously it's a disgusting word, but a lot of people use it, including myself sometimes. Not in a way of negativity, not like, oh, you're such a N-word, not like that, just calling my mates that word. I know that it shouldn't be used, just like the word fuck shouldn't be used. It's not like I'm going around telling people to fuck off though. I should be allowed to use the fuck word in my own private space. So this really did upset me, because somebody of a different race commented on my post that I posted on Facebook. Somebody upset me basically, saying the P shop, and that word to me, if you're describing somebody of a different ethnicity as a racist remark, that to me is racist. Well, that to anyone is racist. That's what racism is. If you're basically calling your friends, say, N-word, which honestly is chucked about by so many people nowadays, I really do feel like it's not actually that bad, as long as you're not saying it around somebody that is black or somebody that is of a different ethnicity as you. So I don't just go and blurt it out. I do ask my friends if it's okay to say, and if they suddenly said, oh, that really offends me, I'd really apologise, but it sometimes just slips out. This person basically called me a racist for using the N-word. Basically, I said I was really offended by my friend using the P-word, because my friend told me that you're just as bad for calling your friends N-word. But I said, but I do that as a joke. I would say it if I had a black friend. I would say, what's up, N-word? Like, I wouldn't say it in a negative way. I wouldn't be like, oh, you're such a N-word. That's not in my nature. People are so tetchy. Like, I really wouldn't care if you called me a H-word, okay? I'm white. You can call me a H-word if you want. You can call your mates a H-word if you're black. I really don't care what skin colour you have, what sexuality you have, what religion you have. I do not give a shit. But I do feel very upset when black people get given more rights, like you're allowed to use this certain word, but we aren't. Because I'm not using it in a negative way. They use it to call their friends that word. I should be able to use it to call my friends that word. I don't want to get too much into that. I want to do that for a whole separate video about race, religion, sexuality, and what should and shouldn't be said, because I feel like a lot of things are said, like the F word, like you're such a F sexuality wise. I don't want this video to get taken down, so I'm using those abbreviations. I'm not going to say those words, especially if children are going to be watching this, which I hope not, because I do set most of my videos to just adults, because I'm like, well, I could say swear words in my videos. A lot of people say, oh, what's up, F, if you're friends with that person, but it's different if you're going deliberately out to call people that word. That's completely different. That changes the whole dynamics of things. Of course, if I use the N-word towards my white mates, I do not see black and white people as different people. Like, you're the fucking same. You have the same fucking rights. It's completely fine. Like, I could be born black. It's nobody's fault what they're born into. That's what pisses me off. People that hate against religion, people that hate against gender, the people that hate against sexuality, people that hate against all these different types of things. They're not born into it, so how could they be fucking judgmental towards those types of people? You can't fucking be judgmental towards those types of people. I don't fucking go and purposely call people fucking racist names. Obviously that's not in my nature. I wouldn't fucking do that. I think anyone that does that is a stupid cunt, quite frankly. It's okay saying you don't fancy a certain body type or whatever. That's, to me, that I think that's fine, because I wouldn't care if a black guy said, oh, I don't like her because she's white, I don't fancy white women. To me that wouldn't offend me, because I'd just be like, well, it's just a characteristic like brown hair. You can either fancy me or you can not fancy me. It really doesn't bother me at all. But it's things like, she can't do this because she's white, or oh, she can't do this because, you know, she's bad at this because she's white. That's racism. And if you're deliberately going out and calling me a H word, that's racism. But personally, to me, that wouldn't really bother me. But that is racism, and I wouldn't fucking do that to a black person or even somebody of my own skin colour. Like, I think it's even more stupid when somebody says, you're such a white person, but you're white yourself, so why are you saying that? That is a whole topic which I really do want to go into another time. People are letting things get to them much more than they usually would have. Like me saying the N-word to my mates is not racist. You really need to look up the word racism. Racism is where you think that people have less rights if they are black or white. That is what racism is. It's not like calling your mates N-word. You really shouldn't use the word anyway, but if it slips out, just fucking get over it. It's a fucking word, for fuck's sake. It doesn't mean what it used to. We're not making black people slaves anymore. That's what that word used to mean. To me, if I can't use that word, that's basically like saying, oh, you still class me as somebody that would make you a slave. If you're really getting shitty about me using that word, to me, you're just basically treating me like I'm from that time of fucking earth. And this person said about it, she really pissed me off. So much so that I called her white boyfriend the N-word, because I was pissed off. He hated that word, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to call you it. And I called him it, and she cropped it and sent it to all her mates, so it looked like I was a fucking racist. I'm not even going to try and explain myself anymore, because my mates know that I'm not a fucking racist. My mates know that I say things that's supposed to be taken light-hearted. I wouldn't go out and judge somebody for anything. Like, I'm so fucking open-minded, you don't even understand. I talk about many different topics on here, and I'm about to talk about many more different topics on here as well that people will definitely not agree with either. Like, people are going to say, oh, you know, I don't agree with that. Like, I literally understand some serial killers. Like, I try and put my mind into how they're thinking because I'm so fucking open-minded. I don't judge anyone. Obviously, I'm not going to go ahead and kill someone, but I'm putting myself in their perspective and how they see it. I'm not the type of person to go and be a dick about someone or take the piss out of somebody's what they're born with. It's just not in my nature. I wouldn't do it. Anybody that does that, I just don't associate with those types of people. But okay, that's got way out of context. It's because I haven't spoke to you guys in so long. I mean, that whole thing that I just spoke about a few weeks ago that happened, and it's all over now, but it's still, thinking back to it, it really did upset me being called a load of names because I call my mates the N-word. My mates, my friends who do not get offended by it, and we do it in our own private space, and being called, and death threats. I've had death threats by it as well. Do you know how idiotic that is? Like, go and give somebody else. I don't think anyone should have death threats, because if somebody did kill themselves, that's on you, mate. You're now a murderer, okay? That's on you if somebody goes ahead and kills themselves after you've death threatened them. You're basically as bad as a murderer if you're telling somebody to go and kill themselves or telling them that you want to kill them. Like, you're just as bad as doing it. Because if you think it and you truly mean thinking it, then you're just as bad as doing it, in my opinion. Unless you really don't want to do it. Obviously, if it's an OCD thought, like, you get a thought about killing your mum or something, obviously you don't want to do it, that's different. But obviously if you fucking really want to fucking do it and you actually do mean it, and you know you fucking mean it as well, you don't have to question it, you fucking mean it, like that person was towards me, to me that's as bad as being a murderer. Just don't associate with me. Get on with your own fucking life, let me get on with my own fucking life and stop judging me. It has got on not only their tits, but it's got on my own tits as well, this pandemic, mainly because of people being idiots. I think I'm going to end the video here, where I've talked about conspiracy theories, I've talked about this pandemic that's been stressing me the fuck out, my boyfriend's still living here, I've been talking about all of the things that's been going on in my life. Not all of the things, trust me, there are many more things. I've talked about getting a new light, I've talked about using my tripod, I've talked about things that I've been doing in my own spare time. And if you don't judge me and you want to be my mate and you want to support me, subscribe to my OnlyFans, that would be a great help. I'm sorry if this video has offended anyone, please do not get offended. I do not judge you, I never fucking will, I'm not that type of person. And if you judge me for saying something that you can say yourself, fuck off. Like, seriously, you're the one being judgmental then, because you're saying that I'm indifferent, okay, just because of my skin colour or just because of my sexuality, something like that. Just get on with it, just let me get on with my own life, keep your nose out, I'm not your mate. If you're going to judge me for saying something as simple as the N-word, right, to my mates, then fuck off, don't be my mate. Like, it's simple, it's literally as simple as, because I wouldn't judge you for doing something as small like that. I don't judge you for saying the F word, don't judge you for calling your mates hoes. Stop judging me, don't judge anyone, that's the way I live. This is why this channel is called Vent Me No Judge. Just don't fucking judge anybody, it's ridiculous. I'm done with this video now, so if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I am going to be doing more videos, do not worry. I'm so sorry about the time I've taken to do this video. I've honestly been suffering myself, not just with mental health issues, but with this pandemic, with people's fucking attitude, no support, no money help, no financial help, no job. It's been extremely stressful for me. I would work if I could find a job that would suit my mental health needs, but seriously, everything I think about, I can just think about negative shit with it, and I wouldn't want to kill myself by doing something that I really do not and am incapable of doing. Why do it if there's a job out there that I could wait for and be happy doing it? If you also want a personalised video and you've stuck around to this end part of the video, message me on Instagram, I'll give you more information. Anyway, I love you all, I'll see you next time.